Hello guys, it has been a long time since the last time I spoke with all of you in this way. And this time I'm bringing you a case because someone approached me and asked me, "Hey Federico, do you know some courses that I can learn about cybersecurity?" And I'm not so sure about it because I don't work in this sector. But I'm gonna ask some of my friends. One of them advised me a couple of courses, especially master's degrees. But this lady was somehow afraid because, well, she's in her 40s and she didn't want to go back to university. But I told her that, in my opinion, it was the best idea to go in depth, even though she was already taking some courses, trying to get some certifications. And I still think that you can get higher education, and that's always useful. She told me that she would think about them, but right now she also was considering to get into a call center and to work in support. And that's a bad idea. Many people think that it's easy, let's say, to move from a call center, even if you work in IT, to go to the normal IT world. And the reality is, no way. I know people who have tried to do that, and most of them have failed. That's not an easy deal, trust me. And I went in depth trying to encouraging her that this was not the best way. And I shared with her my experience, starting with a quote that I heard when I was in the university. Always target for the moon, because if you fail, at least you will reach the stars. What does it mean? In El Salvador, you have a score system between 0 and 10. 6 is the minimum to pass. And imagine that you are a very confident person and for the last test you need a 6. So you study to get a 6. But eventually you get a 4. So you need to take your class again. That happens very often in our lives. Instead of working or overworking to reach the highest mark, we try to go for the easy win. Especially if you're not the highest scorer or the best in your class, the summa cum laude or someone like that. Of course. Then the best advice is target for the highest mark, because if you fail, at least you will get the 8 and you pass your class. And what I explained here is what happened to me. I was working in IT. Well, I have always worked in IT, but in those days when I was living in Poland, I used to work as a coder. And it wasn't, let's say, my cup of tea. I wanted to move to become a manager, but two things were against me. The first one, I needed a work permit. A huge problem in my life. The second one, I didn't have the nice position as a team lead or manager or something like that. And in the IT world, at least in my experience, if you want to move between companies from one position to a higher one, if it's not in the same area like coding, companies are not really open to give it a chance. And the work permit, of course, it was a big problem. The combination was toxic because no matter what I tried to negotiate, people were, "No way, either you don't have the right seniority for this position." Well, but I have led teams of 18 different nationalities and I organized a conference for half Poland. Well, but it was in a non-profit, it was not in the corporate world. So people constantly rejected my offers, and it didn't matter what I was learning, the degrees I was getting, the new certificate that I was getting in project management. All of these things were meaningless for the recruiters, completely meaningless. It took me 654 CVs to finally get 3 interviews and to get an offer. But it wasn't a smooth transition because to get my visa to come to Spain was really tough. It took 5 months to be printed because those applications were during COVID-19. And as you can guess, the answer was, "Well, there is this virus and we are not going to do our work." Well, eventually I came to Spain and my manager didn't know what to do with me. Somehow luck was on my side and my manager called me and said, "Hey Federico, do you know about AWS?" And I was, I don't know about AWS. We have this new migration project. Can you take care of it? And I was, well, I can learn about AWS. Sure, I will take care of it. What I did is that I learned about AWS, and during the last 3 years, I've been leading multiple re-engineering and migration programs. I had no idea about it. I got into a completely different mess. Creating budgets, stakeholders, re-engineering things, so many things that were completely unrelated to what I knew before. My stakeholders that I didn't create, that was something I said incorrectly, are really happy with my results because I was able to save 60% of their expenses. It's crazy. I can just tell you that if I hadn't had that clear goal that I wanted to get that position, many things wouldn't have worked. And you will be thinking, okay, Federico, but you said that you had issues about the work permit. Is that still an issue? I can tell you that on October 10th, that changed and I got my Spanish passport. The work permit is gone. And I concluded telling to this lady, you must fight to get a position in cybersecurity. It doesn't matter, you start at the bottom, but do not go for support. Because if you do that, most likely you will waste your time. Right now is the right moment to learn about cybersecurity, get the certifications, or get in those courses, especially those master's degrees. All of them are accredited, and she might be able to have a higher chance. In the worst case scenario, she will get a mentor. She will find someone who will guide her, and she will learn all that she needs to succeed later. Trust me, in life, many things are tough, but giving up for the easy answer, that's not the best way. And I hope that if you listen to this and you are in this difficult situation that you don't know what to do, that maybe you would like to do this, but it's not what you like, and maybe you're gonna give up for lower, go harder. Try. Because as I said, in my case, it took me 654 CVs, but eventually I made it work. And you see, it's a proof that hard work pays off. It's time for you to do the next transition in your life. And I hope I left you wiser than I found you. And until the next time, bye.